here in the Culture Center, I was very skeptical, thinking that she got herself involved in some crazy cult. How come these people look so happy? What's wrong with them? Worried about what she got herself into, I just sat back and watched and waited for the day to come that she would find out that this wasn't something she was going to continue. Was I wrong? You bet. I have watched her grow and become the truly compassionate, caring woman she is constantly evolving into today. She has become Vice Area Women's Leader in her area in LA. I, on the other hand, stayed away from my practice for many years until 2005. When I'm going to introduce you to the person who shot the book with me, Anne Marie Author. She called me and asked me if I was ready to receive my Gohanzan, and I said yes. On March 6th of 2005, I received my Gohanzan. I had by that time come to several meetings and had found that I truly liked what I saw and realized it wasn't a cult at all, but an assured way to live one's life. Granted, I had much more to learn, but wanted to become part of this organization that I knew believed as I did. Here was an opportunity through my acceptance of this Gohanzan and my practice of Gonyo, each and every day, morning and evening, to change and challenge the events that were to enter into my life. It was a daunting responsibility, no outside forces, just me and my Daimoku could affect the changes that I wanted in my life. How excited I was to embark on this journey. However, something kept nagging at me, and I wasn't sure what the answer was to be. I decided this was the time to open my life up even more than I had. I was worried about doing this because of superficial worries. I was told that one should participate in many activities, and as I said, I was worried that my home wasn't good enough for people to come to. But once I got over that nonsense, it was such a joy to have our members raising their voices for the same determinations and goals. This is, in essence, is what our practice is all about. Caring for each other, supporting each other, supporting our districts through our TOZOs, discussion meetings, our study meetings, and making sure our members were aware that we were there for each other. And after one of our study meetings, we learned that one of our members, whose home we had so often had our discussion meetings in, was in a near-fatal accident. How well we all rallied around in support of her and her family. And to this day, truly is the most wonderful lesson our practice is. It's about never giving up. By our continued Daimoku, we are chanting for her to fully recover and awaken. And she has just begun to open her eyes and is now on her way to full recovery. We are sure. I further volunteered to do reception at the Culture Center and at the conferral table and member care home visits. Still, this nagging thought was paramount in my thoughts. What was to be my mission in my life? I asked for guidance in this regard and still wasn't sure about the answer, which seemed to be that my mission was where I was right now, sharing this practice and living my life so that people around me could recognize their Buddha nature by the way I reflected in my life. The career that I had chosen for myself was as a singer-actress, which I had done for the past 55 years. I know. In the last 2 years, I had not been working very much and regarded myself as semi-retired, or freelancing as we call it. If someone calls you about a job, you jump at the chance. I've been chanting vigorously about my mission in life, and what my life was, plus being in financial straits at this time also. I chanted to find a job that would allow me to still feel active in my chosen field and that this job would help to alleviate this financial situation. At the end of September, I received a call from my agent about an audition for an independent film that was being cast. I was asked to audition for the part of the grandmother. I didn't know much of it at the time and was delighted to have been asked. I went to the audition not expecting much, because as many of you know, you go, you do your best, and wait for the results. And if you don't hear anything, you wait for the next call. However, later that week, I received a call telling me I had gotten the part. And to further learn, that I was to play Cuba Gooding Jr.'s grandmother. The film was about a slave family's escape from Virginia plantation through safe houses and underground railroad route that ended up in Canada. How about a challenge? Well, that was a whopper. I was being asked to physically challenge myself. I was going to have to ride a horse, which I didn't have to in the end, because I was a stuck person. Ride in a buckboard wagon, sit in freezing rain, run up to my knees in icy cold water, and hide in a bale of cotton. By the way, I forgot to say, I was approaching my 77th year birthday. I was soon to discover that this was the mission I was asking to see as a result of my chanting. I was going to be tested in a way I had never been. I was going to see how my faith, determination, and sheer will was to get me through these next few weeks. My schedule consisted of my daimoku in the morning and evening, needing this time to stay absolutely focused in preparation for what was to transpire on a daily basis. I was going to be victorious no matter what, and I was. I was isolated because we had moved around so much. I'd been given a contact number of a member, but was unable to contact her because of our schedule. It was imperative that my daimoku be consistent, because I knew this was the time I needed to see and feel the strength of my faith. During this time, several people on the set came up to me and asked how I could remain so outgoing and seem so happy when many times circumstances seemed so disorganized. It was said to me that I should teach a course on humanism. It was a compliment for me and for Kozen Rufu. I explained to some about my Buddhist practice, and some wanted to know more, and when time was provided, I did some shakubukuing. All in all, I found that my mission is just to be who I am, and through the wisdom I have gained through this experience, makes me know how grateful I am to this practice. President Ikeda says, faith into action. In faith into action, I'm sorry. There is no retirement age in faith. Sincere faith never ages, and those who exert themselves for the sake of the law are ever young. Our heart is what matters most, and let us strive to the end of our days for Kozen Rufu. Kokoro, Kozo, Taisetsu, Nai.